I was inspired to do this show just because Elon said, he's got $42 billion. Should he buy next? And there are a lot of people who were saying buy YouTube. And I thought I'd do a show. Elon, make YouTube great again. YouTube and the whole internet used to be a really great free place before groups, these woke groups like the SPLC and the ADL basically took over and destroyed it for America, and I believe for the West in the Anglosphere. They are a true albatross. They are very stinky. And hopefully Elon can also buy YouTube as well and, take it away from the elite power structure who think they know what is best for everyone. Adults can decipher for themselves what is good and bad information. And that is what I'm hoping Elon will do. Joey, what say you?
Well, this is where you could be discerning and decide with your dollars, not to wait for Elon. I don't know how good of an idea it is to have him buy YouTube, but I think the result and the overall outcome would probably be a plus over what it is now. Their censorship is absolutely absurd. It's a miracle that we're actually still able to do shows here. I'm surprised they haven't gone into our archives and just wiped us off the map. But it's amazing what you could have said, what we did say 10, 11 years ago when we started, and what we say now. Back then, you could have got away with so much more. And now it's like you're constantly watching your footsteps or retracing your footsteps to make sure you didn't step in any of the caca. The caca.
Yeah, I just want to add that this post-pandemic, post-Floyd world stinks to high heaven. And there are a few groups out there. And I would love to, the Bud Light campaign, I guess, might be over and they are apologizing. But I would love to Bud Light some of these vile, woke nonprofits. I think hopefully people can get together and just do some strategies, do some strategic boycotts of some of these groups because they have ruined the information superhighway. It's no longer that anymore, and it's like we are not children, Joey. We are adults.
Speak for yourself.
You're a baby. I'm still kind
of. No, I've put on my adult pants. I can see, just how many infants there are, how many people. What to me, that's one of the greatest insults of all. To be called, being part of the minority sucks, but I would much rather wear my adult pants and think like an adult rather than sit around twiddling my thumbs and remain in my infancy, which is what the COV was all about. If you know, the second part of that word is id. The id it represents the infancy, according to Freud, and you better believe that that's meaningful when they're talking about the covered identification. It's just an amazingly bizarre wordplay. It's like they're not even trying because they already know that they have everybody under their thumb. The power brokers have a lot of money, and so it's made the waters really treacherous and difficult to navigate.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it has. And look, I'm just saying that people make foolish choices, but I'd rather make
Yes.
my own bad, stupid decisions than somebody else's good ones. And you know what? These people have proven time and time again to be reckless egocentrics who don't know how, basically, who do not know how to apologize and get down from their own ego. They're
Yeah.
the worst human beings alive.
Oh yeah.
And to me, it's more their ego than its profit. And these are people, I think, who have either gotten very wealthy and are out of touch, or people who have who grew up wealthy and are absolutely out of touch with the rest of society and have become egocentric midwits who know that they cannot win a debate. So what they do is they just try to silence the people. And I'm, like I said, I think
And sorry, go ahead.
I think there's an objective world that is sick and tired of people saying that speech is too dangerous. Since the technology, you know what they're saying? Since the technology has come around, speech is too dangerous, and that is hogwash. You know, the Humpty Dumpty Brian Stelter once said, "Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of reach." And it's like, you Humpty Dumpty, who made you what should have reach and what shouldn't? You shouldn't have any reach. If it weren't for a multi-billion million dollar, if it wasn't for a multi-billion-dollar company, I think it was $1 billion, like CNN, nobody would listen to you. If you had to do a startup and do your own thing, you'd be the least popular guy around. You're not that intelligent. You're not that smart. You're not that insightful. You stink to high heaven, buddy. Same thing with Don Lemon. I mean, now that he's trying it on his own, he can't reach the heights. No, most people go to mock him. Nobody thinks the guy's intelligent or smart or insightful. He just spouts the same talking points.
Call me crazy, but I even question if he's even really black.
Well, I don't, it's yeah. I think he's black, but I think he's just an egocentric. You know, I think he grew up kind of wealthy. He went to a private school for some time, and then I think he might have went to a public school. But he's grown up primarily around white folks, and he's just an egotistical person who cannot see beyond his own nose.
Well, you see where we differ a little bit. I don't disagree that the ego is a powerful thing, and it's a powerful drug. In fact, I think people have a tough time keeping their what's the word? Well, they're having trouble keeping their dog on a leash, and their ego is a big part of that. But I still think I'm still motivated by understanding how the market works. I think it's such a huge part of this upcoming selection cycle. And I mean, let's face it, there is no election anymore. We're left to deal with who they select, period, end of story on that. But I feel like when it comes to the market, that there's two main drivers, and that's fear and greed. And both of those are related to the economic system. And I feel like without that in place, I think that what you're saying, like the ego, is very true and a good assessment. I just feel like the ego is still, at the end of the day, a byproduct of power that's usually in the form of people making a lot of money. Without that, the ego just has no shot. So, at least not on the world stage the way it is nowadays. But
I think once people get financially well off, and most of America, I mean, like, there are Americans that live paycheck to paycheck, but once people are well off, that's when the ego tends to take over. I mean, for me, the truest people I've ever met have been like, the migrants, even though, however you feel about immigration, the people who are the migrants who do the, and the people who do the labor, they are far more real and down to earth than these news media people and
right,
some of the people in Hollywood. They're the biggest fakes and phonies ever, man. They don't get the people who did, migrant work, the construction workers, they didn't get offended by anything you say. They didn't, they weren't boo-hooing about all this stuff. The people that drive the trucks and do the hard labor and do this, most of the suffering in this world, they're not sensitive like these leftists are. These people, and I had a hard time, keeping up when I was younger. These people couldn't deal for an hour with what these people have to contend with as far as labor is concerned. And they're not offended by the stuff these guys are offended by, these college students and these media moguls. They're so fake, man, and they disgust me. As human beings, I am disgusted by them. I want to go off on them. They're so, and then they don't want to hear any comments. They don't want to hear any feedback. And look, that was what the internet was all about. You can hear feedback and you can do that, but they ruined it because they don't want to hear your feedback. They don't want to hear your talk. Okay, go somewhere else. Give us a place where we can, where people can discuss ideas.
Do you remember a pundit? He was a pretty, at the time, blogging was a big thing. He was probably one of the top bloggers in the day. Glenn Reynolds, who was, I believe, a professor and had this real kind of a liberal take on things. And I remember the point where because he was making a lot of good points, but I remember when he jumped the shark when people started to call him out, and the conversation, the comment threads weren't as friendly as they were when he had first kind of was first taken notice of. And I remember when he closed his comments, and so suddenly he was just this guy. It was like the worst because he was just such a huge part of his success to begin with was the interactions. But
Joey, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's why, because what made them successful, they cut it down because it's more about, once you become wealthy, it's more about, a lot of times it's more about ego than it is about money. Because they don't, they cannot handle dissent. They can't handle people having different ideas and being different than them. They cannot handle it. And that is primarily from the left. The right can be that way too, but now it is the left. And on a number of topics, they'll claim hate speech or whatever. I'll decide what is hateful and what is loving. You don't decide, you shouldn't decide that for me or anybody else.
Yeah, they're pretty far up their own asses. It's horrible.
And that's why I started the Twitter account Walk Against the Woke, because I'm sick of you guys. I'm sick of you people. I want to do my own thing and leave the rest of us alone. Stay away from us. You don't like us? Be away from us. Go away, man. You go your way, I'll go mine. We'll go on the different sides of the street. But we don't want to, I don't want to shop near you. I don't want to do anything near you if I have the choice, because You're so egocentric and despicable. I just want to be away from you. Leave me alone. Let me, leave us alone. We don't want to deal with you. We don't want to contend with you. I'm disgusted. You disgust me. Go away. You go your way and I'll go mine. I don't wish, I'm not here to preach to you because that doesn't work. I'm just here. I don't want to spend my money with you. And I don't want to have to sit near you. You've already said, hey, obey me or shut me down. Okay, you said your piece. You said what you're going to do. Okay, you don't want me around? Fine. But I don't want you around either. Tit for tat. Anything else to add, Joey? I think we'll end it on that. Unless you have anything else to add, Joey.
I only want to add a little bit about what's going on with the Federal Reserve right now. And I know it's a change of topic and everything, but if you're paying attention and you're watching what these monsters are without any real checks and balances going on, what's up, Larry? Where are the lies? Where's the lies? With the Federal Reserve, it was straight lies. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but they came out and said that the economy is doing good. There's no, there's absolutely nothing going on in the stock market, which is at record highs, that correlates directly with the economy. This guy does know what he's saying. I'm going to have to take him at face value. I'm sure he meant to say something else. And I don't know who he's referring to even. But yeah, this guy, I have no idea. Anyways, the Federal Reserve comes out and says, the economy is doing great. And they also said that we're going to continue on this lowering of inflation, which is like a straight up lie. Inflation has not been going down. Anybody who goes and shops for their own food can even agree with that. But it was just amazing what they're getting away with. They're just absolutely misrepresenting the accurate numbers, the accurate information that's out there. Fact is, inflation is going to continue going up, and the only people who are going to be able to really weather the storm without screaming for help is going to be people who are have money in the market. It's just a real crazy. The middle class has been crushed. And it's now just the haves with serious haves and the have-nots. It's completely changed. Anyways, I don't know. It's maybe a show for or information for a different show, but I thought I'd throw it in there because you really have to be discerning right now, and this is a good time to put your critical thinking caps on and really apply them to everything you hear, especially when it's in the media. Everything.
Well, I'll end on this. The have-nots. They have a voice too, and we still have our dollars, and they still depend. I think they depend on that. All wars are economic, including culture wars, and hopefully we can Bud Light some of these woke nonprofits, including the ADL and the SPLC. Basically, strategic boycotts, I think, are the way to go, and alternative sources of income. Again, to fight these individuals, these egocentric, reckless people who have no empathy or compassion for you. They think you're adult. They think you're a fool. And it's time to say, hey, man, you don't like me. I don't like you either. Let's leave our separate ways, because I don't want to see you and you don't want to see me. Joey, anything else to say before we call this show a day or a night?
I think you got a new fan in Larry. He's here. Is there a buffet? He wants to know.
I'm fasting right now, Larry. I'm fasting. Larry, I'm fasting. And Joey can go to the buffet. I am off that stuff because of my diabetes. And
But
Joey,
it is a good question. Do you know of any good buffets left? I think there's a seafood buffet that pretty close to where I live, but I haven't tried it.
you got to go to Texas for the good buffets. I think
Yes,
Joey and I would both agree on that.
yes, yes.
And Joey
And
will
you will.
partake, but I won't. You know what I've learned? That wealthy people savor their food, and poor people like me scarf it down, and I pay the price.
Yes.
All right, guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up, for God's sake.
Yes.
I need it. And hopefully we're trying to make plans, although my fatigue is killing me, but make plans to walk against the woke. Artists and everyone else, come on, come one, come all. We can all battle this together. Conservatives, moderates, liberals, no leftists, you're slime. We are against you, and we are against much of the establishment that has given in to these unhinged lunatics.
Yes.
Over our establishment, forced many things upon us, and don't want us to even talk about it. No way, no way, Jose. Let's make YouTube great again. Let's make society civil again. You leftists go your way. Those who enable them go their way, and we can go ours. Best of luck. Thank you for listening.